What is up, you guys? We are back here with another quick post from the Neville sub. This one is called You Don't Want Your Desires by Pikuko, who we just read another post from them and it was pretty good. So here it is. You've seen here many times people talking about how they somehow no longer want their desires and whether it's a problem or not. That Sabbath moment is when I got my desires every single time, literally without trying. SP, fixing family relations, money, job, a new phone. I expect to get a house sometime soon. I've talked about how you gotta let go of the idea of getting your desires before, but besides that general idea, I wanna talk about how I do the work. To live from the end, I have figured that I've been using a mindset when I want something and it could help some people here. Always keep this in mind when you're going into your sats or affirming or visualizing or whatever it is that you do. You don't want your desires. You want to be free from desiring them. You just want to let them go. You want to be free from wanting that thing. You want to feel free. Which is something I came across in a lot of Taoist books. Wink to that quote where Abdullah says, they were once Chinese philosophers. Like I've talked about before, so many of these ancient wisdoms and traditions share so much of the same knowledge. Now, there are two ways to do that, giving up on it or getting it. When you get that thing, it is impossible to keep wanting it. You can't hold an apple in your hand and say, God damn, I wish I had an apple. So when you're doing the work, focus on how what you want is no longer a desire, how you're free from desiring it, how you once wanted that and you got it now, and how when you first got it, it was so cool and now it feels normal, which eventually leads to the idea of you already having it. Hence, living from the end. Don't push it. Just let that desire go and let it happen. Detach yourself from your desires. Live your life. So we have a couple comments here. Free Orchid says, Neville, don't desire them, live them. This is true. Desire is thinking of, living is thinking from. Don't go through life desiring, live your desire. Think it is already fulfilled. Believe it is true for an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. So we have a couple more comments. Giraffe Vortex says, imagining the games I want to play in high detail requires focus and brain power. Well, last time I imagined the game sequel in meditation. The next day, I got an extensive fan art competition video on YouTube where various artists imagined their take on the sequel. Persistence will triumph. And then Mango Salsa 4 writes, yep, so in the past week-ish, I've been feeling this more and more with each passing day, to the point where I'm asking myself, do I even still want this? The answer is, of course I do, just not the 3D version, which is why I dropped the 3D altogether, because I'm finally believing that what I hold in my imagination will inevitably harden. So why even bother fussing over the 3D? I just need to keep on keeping on. Yeah, so this reminds me actually of, first of all, I've talked about this a lot, about how feeling it normal, it's not always this ecstatic theatrical feeling that, Neville has a tendency to speak in these kind of theatrical, poetic ways, which imply, living in the end, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as if it's like this big kind of to-do production. And a lot of the times it's just more normal. And I honestly, that's why I put out this video recently about complaining your way to success, that, I can't believe that now, all these people are hitting me up. I just have so many friends now. So many people want to just a piece of my time. I don't have all that much to give. I can't please everybody. I'm only so able to see so many people. Being popular is kind of hard. That type of thing. It kind of puts an awareness on the topic it completely alleviates the pressure from it. And it makes it more of a normal thing. It adds that dynamic of normalcy to whatever it is that you're talking about. Whereas if you put so much pressure on something, and keeping it lighthearted again is a technique. I can link the video that I'm talking about is right here. There's actually a couple videos that talk about similar techniques. But really what I'm getting at with that is that, there are a lot of the times you have new problems with new circumstances. There is no nirvana situation. If you have a nicer house, then you're gonna have to pay a higher electric bill. You're gonna have to take care of it more. There's going to be more landscaping costs. There's going to be more upkeep. There's going to be more space, more furniture. Maybe there's more things that you have to, concerns now that you have to worry about. And taxes, property taxes increase, all this type of stuff, guys. So there's no situation that's just, oh, now like I can finally just be free of every problem ever. No, it doesn't exist. And so the idea of it being normal can definitely be helpful. Now, the other thing that this reminds me of is Frederick Dodson in his book talks about how when you are wanting something, you're wanting it so badly, the only way it creates this energy dynamic. And he has a really, really unique and interesting way of putting it in his book, The Parallel Universes of Self, which I definitely would recommend. It's a great book. He talks about how the only way to alleviate this energetic charge that is actually taking up a lot of your energy is to either, like this person said here, give up on the desire, because you're just like, okay, I've decided I'm not doing this anymore. I've decided this isn't something that I'm no longer searching for or manifesting, whatever, or to obtain it. He says those are the only two ways to remove that current of energy. And so the different promises in your life that you're making to yourself, whether it's, oh, I have these goals and I can't do them, and like having these goals, that is in a way, somehow, it is using up energy. It is using up your energy that you have. And so it's important to distinguish then, like, if you can just feel it though in your mind that you already have it, and like we talked about, live from the end, that's what Frederick Dodson also says in his book. If you can really feel it and imagine that you have it, that is the other way, the alternate way that you can alleviate that pull of energy that is being drawn from you. That's what he says in his book. That's what this reminds me of, and I think it's a great post. With that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think, what your thoughts are about this. Drop me a comment below as usual. Hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.